So soft. Okay, so I have a question. But it needs backstory, so let me give you a little backstory. People often ask me where I'm from, and I'll be like, oh, I'm from, Southern California or Los Angeles, Riverside, whatever it is I say in the moment. And they're like, no, where are you from? Like, where's your family from? And I'm like, oh, my mom's side's like Mississippi. And from what I know, like my dad's side, I've just been here, maybe Atlanta. But like, that's really all I know. And then they're like, no, but like, where are you from? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. And one time I even made a joke recently to someone who did that same, line of questioning. I was like, we don't be knowing where we're from. And he was like, oh no, I know where I'm from. He was from Senegal. And I'm just like, must be nice. Must be nice to know where you're from. So anyway, I say all that to say, okay, so that's one part of the backstory, like why I'm even like thinking about 23andMe. And yes, I know they're like falling out of business and all these things and like about to sell. So like the data is going to become available to some other company, like whoever acquires it. There's that whole like thing going on over there. Understood. But hear me out. So I still kind of like have a curiosity around like what my DNA's test results would read because like I really don't know. And okay, so I had this idea like, okay, so my grandmother, my mom's mom, like what if I just have her do it? It sounds crazy because it's like, well, why do you want to give her DNA and I'll give your own? Like, that's sketch. And like, to be true, like, I think my dad's side has like, probably like mixes, like French and stuff, but my grandmother's line, it's just looking a little more pure. So I'm just really curious, like, what those like maternal roots are. I'm also curious about my paternal roots, but I don't want to give my DNA. And my grandmother, like, she's very sickly. She flatlined earlier this year. She's had, I think, like 3 strokes since then. And she has seizures and she's like she's in great condition because like I said, she flatlined earlier this year and by the good grace of God, like she is still with us. Last week was rough, or not last week, like 2 weeks ago was rough. But she made a comeback per usual because she's strong and she's a fighter and oh, I love her so much. So yeah, so I was thinking about asking her like, yo, you trying to know your roots? And like maybe she would be less sketch about giving the company her DNA because if they make a clone of her, that might be kind of cool. No, I'm kidding. So I'm thinking maybe she'll just be down to send her DNA over. Is that crazy? Like, can somebody like put me in my place if I need to be put in my place? Like, is it wrong for me to be considering asking her to submit her DNA so we could find out like where we might be from? And then that would be so cool because then of course I'm gonna be like, okay, well now I need my dad's and or mine, But like the company it's going under, that's interesting. Maybe now is not a good time, but maybe it never was a good time and never will be. So just do it. And then I ask myself like, oh, well, why do I want to know? Like if I find out, which I imagine like obviously some kind of like West African, like just based on the history. I think West African and probably some sort of French and a good amount of Native American. I don't know where that accent came from, but anyways, so yeah. If you know where your family's from, without question, leave it in the comments if you've made it this far. And let me know what you guys think I should do. If anything at all, because, like, at the end of the day, like, it really doesn't fucking matter.